Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to revisit New York City, where I'm going to take care of some unfinished business from my last trip here. Okay, so first up with our day trip to New York City is we're going to stop by the New York Stock Exchange, and I'm going to laugh at them for trying to bankrupt me. Here's the main facade of the New York Stock Exchange building, which was constructed between 1901 and 1903. Now, previously we visited the New York Stock Exchange, and the reason why we're stopping by today is when I set on van life, I thought I was comfortably retired. And then these guys here at the NYC want to switch up how the whole stock market works. During that first year of van life, I almost went bankrupt, and that's why I had to end my trip prematurely. At the time, it didn't really seem like I could make another trip, but no thanks to the people in this building, I was able to get back on my feet, and van life continues. Okay, so here's the world famous New York Stock Exchange. These guys did the best they could to bankrupt me, and I'm gonna just take a look at them and laugh and say, hey, better luck next time, fellas. Okay, so we're gonna move on from the New York Stock Exchange. Again, better luck to those guys. They need it. They can't handle me one bit. And we're gonna head on out to Battery Park, and then we'll head to the Brooklyn Bridge. Off camera, there may have been an obscene gesture or two. Just across from the New York Stock Exchange is Federal Hall. Now, this is the second time we've been by Federal Hall and haven't gone into the building. The reason why I haven't visited Federal Hall is that's not the original building. Now, Federal Hall is where George Washington was inaugurated as our first president, and this location was the original seat of our federal government under our current constitution. Now again, the original building there was torn down many years ago, and the current building that sits here was originally built as a U.S. Customs house. New York, of course, has many nicknames: the Big Apple, the City That Never Sleeps, Gotham. They might want to add the City of Pigeons, or maybe the Pigeon Coop, because man, there are an awful lot of pigeons throughout the city here. Briefly walking down to 40 Wall Street, also known as the Donald Trump building, which was actually the tallest building in the world for about 1 month. The rat there was a protest, but it actually wasn't about the president, interestingly enough. Now we'll get moving again. So I didn't get a chance to go by the Eccles building in Washington, D.C. and give them a piece of my mind because of how badly they mismanaged the economy, but the second best option is come by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. They're the most powerful of all of the Federal Reserve banks. And basically, so in Washington, weather's real bad, it was raining, and I know it doesn't make a difference if I, kick and scream at them or whatever. But what these guys did was, there was a record number of job openings in March 2021, and then they continued to buy a bunch of bonds. And that's what created a lot of this inflation we're having now. So, not criminals, but definitely incompetent. Okay, now let's head to Battery Park. The Federal Reserve also kept interest rates at 0 for an entire year after recording those record job openings. Not a good decision in hindsight. Man, I thought the line for the bull was bad last year. Look at this. Crazy. I'm waiting in that line. It's a pretty good view of the World Trade Center. So now we're over in Battery Park, and we're going to get some views of the Jersey coastline and Statue of Liberty. Let me also mention that, I came here last year and I did the whole Empire State Building and 30 Rock, Statue of Liberty Express and stuff like that, and I'll put a card to those videos if you want to go check that out. So we're not going to do a bunch of tourist stuff in this video. Okay. In the distance, there's Lady Liberty. We had a little bit better shots during our last stop here, but it's always cool to see the statue in person, and it really helps having a super telephoto lens when you're shooting from very far away. If you're enjoying the video so far, if you could please do me a small favor by liking the video, and if you want to see more videos like this one, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much, and let's continue with the video. Oh, and what do we have here? There are some more birds here at Battery Park. Okay, that's going to do it for Battery Park. Let's head to the Brooklyn Bridge. Crossing the street, this might be one of my favorite views in the city here of the One World Trade there in the background. We'll see a quick peek of City Hall before we make our way over to the Brooklyn Bridge. Bridge is packed, man. It's crazy. Just behind me there to the right on the screen was the David Dinkins building. That's actually where most of the municipal offices are. It was kind of surprising at how small City Hall was. Here's an up-close look at one of the towers of the bridge. The arches in these towers, I believe, are 117 feet tall, and the towers of the bridge are about 278 feet tall. When the Brooklyn Bridge was completed in 1883, it was the first fixed crossing of the East River and the longest suspension bridge in the world at the time. Overall, the bridge is about 6,000 feet long when you include the approaches on both sides. So after seeing the bridge in so many movies, it's so great to be able to finally walk across the bridge. While doing so, you're also treated to some more just incredible views of the Manhattan skyline. It goes without saying that New York City is home to many famous landmarks. Please share your favorite New York City landmark in the comments below. Thanks so much. Now that we've crossed over into Brooklyn, we're going to head to a very famous photo spot. That was the subject of a funny Jerry Seinfeld segment on the Letterman show back in the day. And that spot, of course, is going to be Dumbo, down under Manhattan Bridge overlook. The Manhattan Bridge there was completed in 1909, and the Empire State Building that's perfectly framed by the bridge was constructed in 1931. So it appears the framing of the Empire State Building by the Manhattan Bridge there is entirely coincidental. So I guess that's called the Dumbo viewpoint for the Manhattan Bridge, and that was made famous from the film Once Upon a Time in America, starring Robert De Niro and James Wood, and I think it was directed by Sergio Leone. It's a great movie, you should definitely check it out. Now let's head down to Pebble Beach and we'll get some more shots of the Brooklyn Bridge. From Pebble Beach, you again are treated to just some more amazing sweeping views of Manhattan. We'll head to the other side of the bridge for a little bit different view of Lower Manhattan. Now that we've checked the Brooklyn Bridge off our list, we're going to make our way back to the van, but on the way back, we're going to make one last stop at the World Trade Center and the Oculus. During my previous visit, the memorial pools were actually closed off, but it looks like that's not the case now. We can step right up. We've crossed over into Liberty Park, which is across the street from the memorial pools. Here's the Koning Sphere, which was originally located in Tubin Plaza between the Twin Towers. And the damage you see there on that sculpture was sustained when the buildings collapsed after the attacks. From Liberty Park, there are some more amazing views of One World Trade Center and the surrounding buildings. Some of these buildings here gleam like gems here in the evening sun. Really incredible sight. Making our way to the Oculus to get on the PATH trains. The Oculus is also a pretty cool landmark. Basically, my process for visiting NYC so cheaply is that I stealth camp in New Jersey, and then I just drive over to a PATH commuter lot and park for the day. At the time of this visit, your parking and round-trip train ticket was only about $7.50 a day, and I think that was a pretty good value compared to the $200 a night RV park on the Jersey side of the Hudson. I think you would agree. We're going to end the day with these views of Lower Manhattan. The sculpture there to the far right is Water Soul, which we've seen previously. And I've since learned that the building that's just to the left of that sculpture is one of the ventilation buildings for the Holland Tunnel, but just another terrific view. Okay, so hey, made it back to the van okay, and that's going to be a wrap for New York City. Yeah, it's just a quick visit. I just think it's better to move on to, explore new areas as opposed to go back. I really am surprised at how much I like New York City. At the same time, it is a bit of a hassle to move around and all that kind of stuff. So, anyways, so we're going to move on to another adventure. I want to thank you so much for joining me for this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye.